This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the discovery of a decomposed body found in the International Bazaar, Freeport, Grand Bahama. Preliminary reports reveal that shortly before 4 p.m. on Tuesday, January 31st, police, while on routine patrol, discovered the severely decomposed body inside an abandoned building. At present, foul play is not suspected. However, an autopsy will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. The matter remains under active investigation. Just 1 week after being extracted from Haiti, Bahamian diplomats sharing their experience, describing the event that led to their removal from the hostile country. Captain Godfrey Roll, Chargé d'Affaires at the Bahamas' embassy in Haiti, recalls the events that took place prior to their extraction on the very day in January, which was his birthday.
As was indicated, we were posted in Haiti at the Bahamas embassy there, and because of situation that arose on my birthday, actually, which was the 26th, we received instructions to return home. What happened on that day was rather abnormal for Haiti. It is indeed a country of, as our minister said this morning, ebbs and flows. But what happened on that date was abnormal, and so it was thought best for us to return home.
Captain Roll is not a stranger to Haiti, having done other groundwork in that country prior to his deployment in August of 2022. He says it is because of this history he knew that something was wrong.
Well, I was a part of, it was myself, Ms. Smith, and Mr. Forbes, and one of our drivers. We used to the police, if there are blockages in the road, we used to the police seeing a diplomatic car, a plate on the car, would beckon to us and make it wait for us to go past whatever blockage there is. And so that is what we expected when the police actually beckoned to us. But when we got there, it was a different ball game. The fact that they said they wanted us out of the car. It was obvious that we were diplomat because the plate was on the Jeep. And we said to them that we were diplomats, but they were not in any kind of state to have any sensible conversation with us. And so, I believe we managed the situation very well. We did not, things did not escalate. And so, we're here.
He is grateful for the fast action from the Bahamian government and the help from the Dominican Republic that they were able to get out safely. However, the group of workers say once the all clear is given, they'll be ready to head back to fulfill their duties in Haiti.
Look at the faces of these guys. Everybody ready to go. They're happy to serve the country. It might be a tough spot for some people, yeah, and you make adjustments as you go as you would anywhere. But I don't think there are any hesitancy about going back once the assessment is done, and we're sure that things are settled down again.
We can move as a government without consultation. This coming from Minister of Social Services, Obi Wilshcombe, giving an update on the progress of the Marital rape bill. His comments follow President of the Great Commission Ministries, Bishop Walter Hanschel's assertion that the issue should be dealt with strictly by the church, after some members of the public have said the church has too much say on this governmental issue. Minister Wilshcombe says it is important to have as many discussions as possible on the topic in order to bring forward proper legislation.
Making progress. We're continuing to get positions from church leaders, from stakeholders generally, from women in the country. We are we're reviewing all the comments, and then we're going to sit down and come up with the legislation that's going to be acceptable to the large majority. The bottom line here is we can move as a government without consultation, and that's not going to serve anyone at the end of the day. What we want to do is make sure that we have cause for as much discussion on this and then bring the legislation and move on it. and then live with it, because we're going to have to.
The minister goes on to say that the government understands that there is a problem and that women have a legitimate reason for their complaints, but the main challenge is getting all to understand what the issues are.
And if we've kept issues quiet and so silent, it's so difficult when people hear about it and accepting it. And so what we're trying to do is make sure it gets into the open, the dialogue, the reality, the facts of what happens in houses, what happens with marriages, what happens in situations. And if we have a great understanding of it, it's more acceptable. And I just want to make sure we do it the right way. We've had situations in our country in the past where we sought to do things, and when we did not have the proper dialogue, what happened was it just died. Well, we don't want this to die. I don't want to have to come back at it again. Let's do it right the first time and get it over with.
Minister Wilshcombe says the government is expecting to meet very soon with President of the Bahamas National Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention, Reverend Lloyd Smith, and other members of the clergy that have requested a meeting on this issue. And finally, major developments are in the pipeline for Cat Island, the home of the country's leader. During his visit to the island on Monday, Prime Minister Philip Davis toured the ongoing development site of the Cat Island Community Park in Old Bight, Cat Island. The landscape architect shared specifics as to what residents can look forward to enjoying in the very near future.
So at this development, we are developing about plus or minus 15 to 16 acres of land, which will include a 400-meter track, a basketball, a refurbished basketball court. Works began in design work started from October, November, and we cut ground about 2 months ago. We are about, I would say, at least another 4 months out. The completion of the baseball field, the resurfacing of the track, the building of the track, and then the resurfacing of the basketball court, and then we have concession buildings and also an announcer's booth to include in there.
The developers were not prepared to share the total cost for the project, which will feature a playground, workstation, as well as proposed tennis courts and a track and field facility. Prime Minister Davis says the intent is to promote sports tourism on Cat Island.
Hoping to have the Bahama Games back in full force and as a consistent event. But we recognize that the Family Island athletes were always at a disadvantage because of the fact they lack the facilities to train and to hone their skills. And so what we're doing here is going to be replicated throughout the islands so that Family Islanders will have the same opportunities as those are in New Providence. And this is just the template of what we are doing. We're going to see how it works here, and we're going to carry it over to other Family Islands.
And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jcn Saunders. It's a pleasure to have you join us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.